The fall of a great man. What a tragic story. The Bible tells us in 1 Timothy 6:10, the love of money is the root of all evil. Pay close attention. It wasn't money, but the love of money. It says that some have been so eager to have it that they've wandered away from the faith and have broken their hearts with many sorrows. This is a prime example of how the love of money can destroy a person. While Columbus was on San Salvador, he noticed gold jewelry that the natives carried around and traded so freely for the things that the Spanish brought from Spain for trading with the Indians. The thought of gold grabbed the mind of Columbus and began to work to destroy him. He lost sight of everything that he'd hoped for because of the yellow gold fever burning in his heart. It's so sad because in every way Columbus was an excellent person, and now he was allowing the devil to destroy him by wealth and pride. On December 24th, 1492, Christmas Eve, while Columbus was anchored offshore of a nearby island while exploring for gold, he and the crew fell asleep aboard the Santa Maria. As the tide went out, the ship started to run aground. He jumped to his feet and commanded, "Man the rudder! Hoist the sails! Pull up the anchor! All hands on deck!" His crew was terrified and started to jump ship, swim ashore. Columbus quickly grabbed a sword and pistol and said, "Yo mato el primer hombre que se va del barco." I'll kill the first man that leaves the boat. He couldn't afford to have his crew desert the ship at such a dangerous time, so they all stayed aboard and tried to save the Santa Maria from breaking up on the reef. The waves were blowing from all directions and the wind howling, but it was a hopeless task. They all left the ship and swam ashore, and the Santa Maria was destroyed. They called the island La Navidad, Spanish for the Christmas Island, since it was Christmas Day. It just so happened that this island produced more gold than any up to that time. He left 39 of his men on the island to seek for more gold, while he returned on the Niña Pinta to claim his discoveries for Spain and be made official admiral of the ocean seas and governor of all undiscovered territory and those that he had discovered. When he got back to Spain, he became a national hero. There was great cheers and beautiful flying banners hanging from the windows to welcome he and his crew home. Flowers were being thrown down upon them all in the celebration. Then he finally got to where the king and queen's palace was. They welcomed him with open arms. They all knelt in prayer and gave thanks to God for such a great honor. After all, the excitement died down. Columbus began to tell them of the great discovery, of the Indians, the birds, the wonderful sights that he had seen while gone. And then he brought in a small trunk, ordered it open before the king and queen, and you should have seen their eyes almost popped out. There was the gold that they'd hoped for, and more where it came from, just waiting to be discovered. The very thought of gold destroyed Columbus's missionary vision of sharing Jesus with the Indians. All he could think of now was more gold. Where Jesus used to live in his heart, gold now replaced Jesus. For many years, Columbus wandered from the faith because of gold fever. He died in Spain on Ascension Sunday, 1506, at 55 years old, penniless, forgotten, alone, and miserable. Perhaps he made peace with God and returned to the faith that he had as a child. If you're young listening to this devotion, don't allow fads, fashions, gold or silver destroy your relationship to Jesus. Keep that simple faith and trust in Jesus Christ. That's why Jesus said we must become as little children to enter the kingdom of heaven.